Hello. I hope you're surviving the apocalypse out there, in here or wherever in hell we are. If you haven't picked up on it yet, it's about to become real. It's about to become exposed. It's about to be seen, heard, felt, and feared. We've been waiting for something to come in, and it's life-changing, because what comes in establishes a new foundation to how we move in the future. We made a decision. We were faced with this fork in the road, and now the frequency we've sent out, this is extraterrestrial, guys, and the reason it's important to even talk about it before it happens is the downloads that come into our psyche, into our consciousness, allows us to interact with the entities and the beings that have been interacting with us just low key and behind the scenes, just because of the vibration the planet has been at. But the level we're about to experience is it's catastrophic, which I hope just means really big. I don't know if it means big and bad. Catastrophic, like it's humongous. I saw a volcano, so it's like 10 years ago, the ideas that natural disasters were going to be coming in were heavy on my mind, and I haven't seen anything besides some bits, right? But what I feel is coming is deep, like the ancestor card and the smoky mirror show me there's something hiding in the water. There's something hiding in life that is becoming exposed. The literal frequency that flows through water is now somehow changing in the delivery of what we understand and what our brains can compute. The data needs to be consciously accepted for those that want to walk into the new world, into the new creation or the new life, the world in which we can be in alignment with our origins, our otherworldly connections. It's literally showing me a world where we're developing superpowers. I've said this many times, but I'm just like, when I say it, it sounds so dumb. Like, it sounds like I'm being dumb. Like, what are you talking? Why are you just in this fantasy world? But I'm not. Like, I'm really, truly seeing a future timeline, and it's close. It's so close that my senses can sense it, just like the storm that I can smell coming towards me. And it's coming in quick. It's coming in hot, 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 hot. A lot of us are rejecting this new way of being. It's too difficult to swallow the pill and to fathom another way of living. It's literally incomprehensible how quick and different it's about to be. And I don't really know why we fear the unknown so much. Yeah, like look, as she's trying to walk into the abyss there, it came in reverse, like, no, I don't want to go towards it. I don't want to go towards the portal. I don't want to go in that direction where I clearly see something different, which is way better than what's currently happening. If you look outside, you want something different than what's currently happening in like the collective energy. It's so uncomfortable to be a human right now. It's so uncomfortable to be pretending in this play right now, to be a participant in this literal theater show. It makes a lot more sense to run around with your head chopped off right now than it does to comply and agree with what's going on. And that's what we're learning. We're learning it's not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs to fantasize with the imagination and dream a new way of living into being. We're now here. Like, it is what it is. You don't have to participate. But for those of us that need that comfort, that need that connection, like, we here. This is it. This is the way we're supposed to be connecting now. This is the understanding of each other and connecting in a frequency space called the internet that we didn't have before. We're tapping into new codes. We're understanding new ways to connect with each other. Moving. Interesting. We're moving. We're physically being placed and directed and herded. So I'm seeing people listening. So there's frequencies coming in and they're saying things like, quit that job, or forgive that person, believe in yourself. Yeah, you can do that thing. It's okay to let them go. There's all these little tidbits coming in. And since our frequencies are just like hitting and attached to so many different things, all these illusions, it's so difficult to know what's really happening. But when you're tapped in and you choose the frequency of walking into the unknown because you've shed the skin of the previous version of yourself, like, you're able to understand the old way that you lived is not compatible with the way you're living now. And this is showing up as a freaking simple understanding. How many times does a spirit guide need to show us a caterpillar and a butterfly for us to understand how much life can change in a short amount of time? I don't know how many butterflies need to fly into our reality before we recognize and smell what's coming and identify that we're eating and consuming and fattening up so we can cocoon ourselves into a chrysalis, being able to inspire the future to come in, the butterfly to come in, the wings to develop. Ancestors with illusions. It's like, it's the illumination. Some of us are going to show physical proof of things that are going to cause fear. People are going to use fear against love, like always. And what we're going to see is beings of love, unfortunately, targeted by fear. And if they keep moving in a direction where fear is so powerful, the sacrifice love will make in order to stay consistent in it, to stay consistent with love, it's going to be startling and alarming to people. So I'm sorry that this is a little bit abstract, but it makes a lot of sense if you slow down and don't look so much for the logic. Don't say, oh, what the fuck is she talking about? Like, think about how fear makes, when you're presented with a choice, love or fear, think of how simply choosing fear can steer you in the wrong direction, when if you would have chosen love, you would move gracefully into the truth, because love represents light and truth. It's not to say that you can't ever have a shadow or use shadow or be in shadow-like energy, but it's really important to know when shadow's puppeting you because you're in fear, and when you access your shadow based in truth. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't, I don't actually know. Emperor, right after the Hermit. Because people that have accessed wisdom, there's a lot of knowledge floating around right now. Knowledge. We can have anything we want to know, we can know right now. That's how much knowledge is out there. But where's the wisdom? Where's the wisdom that empowers you to make decisions that push you as the leader in your life, that literally, I see, how do I say that? I see the controllers trying very desperately to keep the frequency of fear high, to keep people in a state of bondage or attachment. It's so much so that it's like, if I were to assess what I think is happening, there's a layer of hell we've existed in. Whatever, let's say layer 4. Some of us are about to lower down to an even darker hell level reality, and some of us are about to level up into a frequency of hell that seems more heavenly, because it's so close to neutrality. It's so close to the center point at this time. When given the choice, when given the free will to choose, some are choosing a path that's so significant and reality altering that you're going to start having conversations with people and not even recognize them because of where their frequency has them and where your frequency has you. You're just going to be very confused. There's this confusing energy, and it's going to require you to have emperor-like qualities, which is like on top of your shit, disciplined. You have structure and order to what it is you're doing and why you're doing things. No one's at your authority. You have authority over your life. You have plans set in place. You have, you're set up in a way that if you need to make a choice, you don't have to answer to someone else or ask permission or question yourself in a way that would make you choose something outside of love. You have the authority in your life to choose love. And that's a really important place to be moving towards. You're literally moving towards this position. You're recognizing that you have been giving your power away to some sort of entity here. And I see this really massive person almost as like your controller, and they're submitting and letting you go. They're showing you that the entities are showing you that this greater being that you were somehow giving your power to, your ancestors have been alluding to this powerful position now. And you now see it. You've released, that person has released you energetically. They have to. They don't get to. You always have a choice. If you ever pay attention when you interact with anything demonic or angelic or whatever, demonic energy will always trick you into believing you don't have a choice. And then angelic energy doesn't trick you, but it doesn't tell you what you're going to do. It doesn't even try to persuade you. It just shows you how to go where you're trying to go. It's so loving, it's so unconditional, it's so accepting that you don't get to use it as a crutch, because you'll just eventually fall into this this corner where you're forced to make a decision, because it's angels don't make decisions for you. They just don't. They try. Ancestors coming in. Ancestors are way more likely to try to persuade you to do something that you don't necessarily want to do because of the family DNA. Like they want something that maybe your incarnation doesn't. So you're even battling your own ancestors to a certain degree here. And it's really important to recognize the spiritual battle, guys. It's so real. Okay. Two more. So, okay. Yeah, that came out in the, all right. So, it's about time to admit how fed up you really are. This is showing me that you've either taken medications, accepted a diagnosis, accepted terms and conditions, a lifestyle. You agreed to something back when. There's a contract you've made, or many contracts you've made, that has led up to this very moment where you're either, I see someone popping pills, I see someone looking in the mirror and they don't like what they're seeing, like that. So now, Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls, a song where he's looking in the mirror, doesn't even recognize his own face. So you're recognizing parts of yourself right now where you've agreed to things that have you in such a slump and such a feeling of defeat and depression and anxiety that you can't even sleep at night. And you don't know why. You don't know why you need melatonin, or why you need weed, or whatever it is to fall asleep. In some way, you're not acknowledging all this that you're carrying, all this weight. There's so much energy on your back right now that you've carried in denial of opening your heart to the awakening that's happening all around you, inside of you, through you, your part in it, what your character is. Interesting. So, what do, right? Well, we make action. We literally move into the unknown. This is a time to really embrace what you don't understand. If you peel it down to its core and if you don't find fear and you don't find control and power, but you can find love, it has to be love. It has to be something about choice and love. I do want a concrete. See, never mind. This feels very serious. Like, I feel like we haven't taken it very seriously, and we're reaping what we have sown, right? To some level here, reality is showing us what we created, and some of us are repenting. That's what it is. You're turning away from it. You're recognizing you may have chosen winter over all the options. Instead of spring, instead of summer, instead of fall, you chose winter. You wanted to be sad and depressed and and cold, where you wanted to experience what it feels like to freeze and to be isolated and alone and in the dark. Like, this is a choice our reality collectively chose. There's something in the depths, in the darkness, that we want to get to the root of. And it's more than our barbaric past. It's not just what has physically happened in the last foreseeable past. It's like, we're now in a time that if you can only identify yourself physically as a physical being walking on this planet, you're going to feel so empty and so shallow that you will need to cling on to something, because it's so uncomfortable to be shallow right now. It feels like ice. It feels like the feeling when you jump into an ice bath, where it's just like you just want to get out. That's how uncomfortable it is to not be aligned with truth and love right now. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. Because what goes around comes around. This is the karma. This is what we have manifested, which is beautiful. It's so freaking beautiful. It's actually the foundation of the future, and we're grateful. All of the spirits and the ancestors working with me are sending chills up my legs to let me know that nothing has been for waste. Nothing has been, there's no right or wrong or like wasted time, or like, find gratitude in what you're in right now. What is it about your situation that you can be grateful for, thankful for? Sometimes when we're in anxiety and depression and states of fear, we lose the wisdom that there is nothing to fear. The only thing, honestly, to fear is yourself. Because you're literally orchestrating this. While there's a big old reality out there, we're all living our own realities too. Just like the sun is whatever, things are revolving, planets and stuff like that. There's all these little revolving things. Everything's like got its own moons. This one has 27, this one has 2, this one has 1, this one has like all these revolving things. It's really identifying what's in your orbit. What are you orbiting? What makes what is your history and data telling you about what you need to do next? Oh, drugs. So this relates to the pills I was seeing at all levels. They have been designed to silence the discomfort. So some sort of substance you're taking is designed to silence the discomfort you feel in your existence. And if you can face that head on, sober, there's a clarity that will become a string. It's almost like a golden string you'll begin to follow. You'll begin to see the direction it wants you to go in. There's something also about your past that makes you feel hopeless. There's this hopeless feeling. I swear this card comes out every time. The Jungle. It is a jungle out there. If we telling the truth, is it any coincidence that people aren't connecting? Is there any coincidence that it's like weird all of a sudden? All of a sudden, I know it didn't happen all of a sudden, but it feels like all of a sudden we just don't get each other anymore. We're discovering we are not in one collective reality. We're in 8 billion collective realities, simultaneously experiencing the same thing, similar to a hallucination. This is clearly some type of hallucination that we collectively believe in. And the more that we dive into our individuality and our personal aspirations and goals and reality-based beliefs that formulate our reality, when we connect with other people, it automatically feels like they're on another planet, because they are. People are literally experiencing other realities from each other. And to go up in hell, like to level up out of hell, it's going to require you to, you're literally going to, I have found another planet. Do you know that song? Like we're arms length away. Basically, in that song, she's a planet and she found another planet, and then they're 2 planets, and then they come together. Because there is a working together that we need to do, but it's so important right now in time to be more concerned about your individual experience. Just like a caterpillar is about to turn into a butterfly, it doesn't have time to do anything else. It has to focus on becoming a butterfly. And right now we're focusing on becoming new creatures, new, enhanced, different, like brains, everything, all of our is about to change. Bully. Highlights your tendency to intimidate others, helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. Because what does a bully do, right? There's this inner voice in your head that it's literally a bully of yours. You could have created it. I'm almost certain you created it. You accepted it. That's the problem. A lot of times it's hard to take accountability when we have to accept what we have chosen. And when a bully enters your life, whether it's a parent or not, there's a spectrum. And I'm seeing parental ideology, like what they believe in, vomited onto you. And this in your mind is now a bully of yours, because you want to appease your makers, your creators, the ones that brought you on the planet. So it could be anybody after that as well, because if they agree with the narrative that the sky is green and that the oceans are pink, then you just have to keep going. You just have to accept, because of how many people in your reality agree with that. You got to agree with that. And no, that's bullying. That's what we're not acknowledging as adults, is how much bullying is for real. Like, it's worse as adults, actually, because you can't go tell the teacher that someone's bullying you. You can't go tell anyone that your parent is bullying you. You can't go tell who you gonna tell? Nobody cares. You'll call the police. Like, my parents bullying me, they'll be like, what the fuck you gonna do about it? There's this ugly bully energy in society that we're really trying to squish out like a pimple. Like, we don't want to hear anymore. It's really hindering our progress. And then when you can face that bully in your consciousness and your psyche, it really helps the collective. It helps all of us to face our bullies and really get rid of it, because it's an energy. It's just like, it's something. It's some sort of entity. Just like narcissism, it's an entity. It's a frequency. It's a form that we have manifested. We gave it life. We gave bullies life. We gave psychopaths power. That was a choice we made somewhere back in the day. And that's why prostitute fell out. And it fell out upside down. Place material consideration and security above self-empowerment. Because we've been in so much fear that we've allowed a pimp to come in and run our lives. The simple American dream life, the simple life, like the life. I mean, I get some people want extravagant lives, but in general, I think we've recognized even the basics at this point are becoming, what do you say? A luxury. The basics are becoming a luxury because what is it? Here's the bully. This is the pimp right here. Because I don't think any of these have pimp on it. Maybe they do actually. It has to. It's archetype deck. But the bully, think about that. That's an energy of a pimp. It's to bully the prostitute into submission, to do his bidding, or typically his. Who are you, you know? How do you want to be positioned in this battle? What are you connected to? These are seriously important questions. Seriously important questions. I'm going to pull out this career deck because a lot of times our persona tends to be the reason we don't act on our heart. We have this projection of who we are, this version of us that is required when we wake up to go to work or whatever. And I feel like what's hindering you is your persona. Your ego has something, a veil in front of your eyes, trying to say that you can't do something. And I think it's because of what this is gonna make you look like in your career. So let's see what comes out. Yeah. Investments in reverse. It's like poor investments. Poor investment of your time. There has been a network that you've created where you've invested yourself, your literal soul into. I see that the reason you're challenged right now is a belief system in your mind that wants you to think that you can't do this other thing. But trust, like, your heart and your mind, while they do work together, if your heart is 0% in one of the choices, you literally should choose the other one. If that's like as simple as ending, see? Dude, put this to bed. Bury it. Dig a fucking grave. That's so beautiful. Like, I love blowing shit up sometimes. And to me, it really helps the new come in, which is maybe why I saw the volcano, because then we get the volcanic, it kills everything, and then it turns into this real fresh land, which is perfect for new growth. Like this has been a long time coming. Your ego has gotten the best of you. Haven't all of our egos got the best of us? You know what I'm saying? Hasn't it? Cause I got a big ego. and such a huge ego. He loved my big ego. Usually I'm humble, right now I don't choose. If you leave with me, then you can be in the blues. Some call it arrogance, I call it confidence. Beauty is always fun. Opportunity. I love opportunity. You know, when we're presented with a choice, as right now, as a time is like right now, who is going to say what's right or wrong? Like, who is authority right now? Authority, respect is what, in my opinion, gives someone authority. Like, you don't have authority over me unless you've somehow shown me that I should respect you. Now, here's a simple example. First reaction to a police officer, I'm gonna show respect. You're the police, like, right? But if you start acting crazy at me, like you now lost that respect. No matter what you represent, friend, politician or boss or parents or anything over your life that says I am your authority, mother trucker, like, show me that I should respect you. Because the opportunity that I'm seeing here is you need to walk away from where you are not being respected. You are not respected at this moment. And I see you working hard, investing yourself and your time and your energy into something that's going to run you into a dead end. This does not have a place for you in the future that aligns with your heart. Listen to your heart. They didn't lie to you. I know the Disney movies, they like to sometimes take it to the extreme. But the core belief that you should listen to your heart, and then you will understand, that's where we need to be. We need to listen to our heart. Look at the seat. I just want you to see this card without this glare. You see her sitting on the throne? Sitting on the throne in power, okay? Focus on your needs. What does your heart need? What do you need right now? What is your heart saying? Are you resonating with this? Don't worry about the people around you, because I feel like you're worried about how this is going to look. Look outside. Does it look normal anymore? Like, that's how crazy I feel. I feel like people want to pretend it's all glitz and glam. No, it's crazy. It's bizarre to be acting like this now. It makes no more sense. Makes no more sense. Exactly. Gambling in reverse. Because we're gambling with our souls. And that's not what I signed up for. The minute I started to figure out that I was being played, it's like, oh, I see. Like, we can give our power away. That is an actual choice. And when you recognize what's coming in based on that decision, based on fear, based on agony, based on judgment of others and other people's opinions and blah, 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 all this thinking and critical stuff, you get left, you're basically going to lower down a level, remember, in hell. And if you can follow these little tidbits here, these little bits of wisdom, it's like you can find yourself in a situation where you're back in power, where you're back on top, where you're back in control of your heart. Not because you're domineering and want to hurt and harm others, but you're in control of the power in your being. So when this new world comes in and we get to play, we get to, I'm seeing the Power Rangers. They find the rocks and then they become Power Rangers. That's how fun it's about to be. That's the other choice you have. You can become a Power Ranger, or you can stay a regular person at a regular job. And, you know, and I'm also seeing Neo on the computer with a little rabbit and invite into the Matrix awareness moment. You can become aware and interact with the game, or you can just keep being a non-NPC, okay? You can just be an NPC, but you don't want to be that. You want to really, you are ready, okay? You're ready. Believe in yourself. Is there any one last card we want to get here? I think we should get an animal. I love animals. I feel like animals have such a unique way of communicating with us. So let's do an animal. Let's see. We get all these opinions from humans all the time. Let's listen to the animals, okay? Animals have a whole different experience, and they can give you unique messages that maybe no human sees. So what animal is going to show the collective its empowerment here? What animal do you need to envision? Do you need to see? Oh, I forgot to say, so we have a horse, we've got a jaguar, a butterfly, a spotted leopard, 2 horses again, and some sort of cow carrying stuff. So we don't want to be a mule. We're trying to get to this freedom here. We're trying to be strategic and stealth. Dragonfly. Interesting. Truth transcends illusion. Now let me tell you why this is so critical. So, and the elephant spirit at the bottom, we'll always take that. That's the ancestor. Look, see? Remember this card, the ancestor? Here's the ancestor, okay? Sitting back pretty over here, because remember the ancestors is, I don't even wanna. The dragonfly though, which is making me connect back to the butterfly and the smoky mirror. So you got these 2 flying creatures, right? And then you got this smoky mirror, which is the illusion. Smoky mirror is the illusion of what you see in the reflection. And this is transcending that illusion. This is the truth. This is also representative of ancestors. A lot of people believe if you see a dragonfly, an ancestor or somebody's trying to communicate to you. So here we are, transcending the illusion, the fake matrix bullshit world that pretends that it's so important that we should invest all of our time and energy to, not knowing that behind the scenes we're actually being drained and sucked like a freaking vampire, all of our blood, time, sweat, and tears, when really we could be as free and floaty as this dragonfly. That's how free and even almost like you don't, it's like incognito, which is why this maybe was incognito, like almost unseen. Doing things real discreet, like doing things real, like really playing with the edge there of the next dimensional barrier, the next space. I'm getting this weird heartburn thing. So really test the limits here. I really think that it's important to test the limits of reality in a safe and healthy way, but in a a little bit of a risk, right? This is a bit of a risk. It's a huge risk to face the illusion in truth and say, I know what you want me to see, but I'm gonna tell you what I do see, what's so fucking true and clear to me versus what you want me to see. And what, like, this is really a revelation you're experiencing. So keep going and don't give up on yourself. So that's what I have for you. Thank you so much.